It's no secret Switzerland is one of the most expensive countries in the world. This week, I've spent over $7,000 between a hotel, airfare, and rental car just to get here and watch the second biggest sporting event for Switzerland when it comes to revenue generated, the Spengler Cup, an annual hockey tournament. People travel here all the time for skiing trips, but is a hockey road trip worth it? It is no secret that Switzerland is one of the most expensive countries in the world. I mean, my $5 North American cappuccinos have been costing me $11 here. This was my lunch the other day. Take a second. Guess how much it cost? $55. But today we are going to a hockey game, which is a part of the second largest sporting event in the country of Switzerland, hosted in Davos, the oldest hockey tournament in the world, the Spengler Cup. Now we are just 30 minutes from puck drop for the opening game here in this tournament. Right now, on average, I'd say you're looking at 35 Swiss francs for a standing room ticket, which is roughly around 55 Canadian dollars. I would say that puts you on average in an NHL market in like the 300 level, give or take $10 to $20, also dependent on the market that you're watching the game in. Now on this channel we do $100 challenges all the time, so right now 100 Swiss francs would get us about 160 Canadian dollars. So we're gonna see how that shapes out at this evening for ice hockey. I have a feeling though that we're gonna go a little over budget. We just arrived at the stadium and I'm easily influenced. Had to get some fondue. It's like they poke a hole in a breadstick and stick the fondue in it. I mean, we're in Switzerland, 8 francs, like 13 Canadian dollars. Let's give it a taste test here. I just made a mess, but worth it. Yeah, I've been walking around the Grand Concourse for a little bit here now. It's a nice little concrete finish. However, I am very much turned around, as in I have no idea really where to go right now. Just trying to get a lay of the land. One thing that's really unique about Switzerland is they do have 4 official languages. The main one I think for this region being German. And I can basically say Prost, Dankeschön, that's about it. Okay, so we're just at the Spengler Hall of Fame wall here now. If you want to get a sense of how old this tournament is, so this guy right here, Dr. Karl Spengler, founded this tournament right after World War I. So yeah, it's been around for over 100 years. The only reason why it's not at its 100th Spengler Cup yet is basically because of World War II, tensions with the Cold War, and then the COVID-19 pandemic. That's literally the only reasons why this tournament has never happened. But other than that, it has gone on. Let's try and head into the rink there now for puck drop. All right, this is my first look at the arena.
Willkommen, HC Fribourg Gotteron!
That wood finish is so nice.
We are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, meine Damen und Herren, enjoy the game!
And the 2024 Spengler Cup is officially underway. The first game features one of the teams from the top Czech Pro League and another team from the top Swiss Pro League. And the team from Czechia scores the first goal of the tournament. I will say it is intense in there, and Chippy, there is no love lost between these two teams already. Maybe thinking to yourself, because everything is so expensive here, nobody must go, right? Actually wrong. Last year, all 11 games of the Spengler Cup were sold out. So right now it's looking like the same thing for this tournament too. One thing I love about these rinks is they always keep a really good job at just preserving history. So check this out. We've got a few familiar faces if you follow the NHL. Right here, Joe Thornton, we got to catch up with him on the outside rink actually yesterday. And then Rick Nash, they obviously most notably came over here during some of the NHL lockout periods during their career. And they love it ever since. I mean, like you said, we got to see Joe yesterday because he's still involved with Team Canada on the general manager side for the Spangler Cup, so he gets to come back to Davos all the time, and the people love him there, and he is absolutely a class act. Like I said, was chatting with him yesterday, so nice. And yeah, not saying it's a guarantee, but just the fact that you can see him walking around when you come to this tournament, I would say makes it pretty worth it. Okay, so we got a couple snacks here now. All of this in total costs us like 30 bucks with a beer. I will say what you want about Switzerland being expensive. Stadium food in Europe is just always exceptionally cheaper. This is something that I've noticed is really popular in the region. I think it's cheese and like on bread with potentially like a little hash brown. Okay, maybe no hash brown, but alright, cheers. We got a non-alcoholic beer. So this is from one of the local brewing companies here in the region. They use the Alpine water springs for the beer. Honestly, yeah, really good. As far as non-alcoholic stadium beers go, this one actually ranks pretty high. And the fact that it's cheaper than the beer that has alcohol is always a nice little win. And that concludes the first period. We will be back momentarily. I cannot imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like for the host team, HC Davos, when they face off against Team Canada. However, we are going to meet the real reason why we are here, the Straubing Tigers. They have so kindly allowed me to follow them along for the week. So that is going to be a future video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all the behind the scenes with them. And the one thing I wanted to mention, you know I was talking about the rental car beforehand. Honestly, that was a cost that I incurred just because it was more convenient for me. Realistically, you probably could have got the train from Zurich, a couple stops, gotten here for like $200. Also, with the whole thing with the hotel as well, one thing that's really unique about here in Davos is the hotel actually gave me this little bus pass card, so I actually have availability to the public transit here. Okay, so team dinner went a little longer than expected. I'm rushing back to catch the last little bit now of HC Davos versus Team Canada and maybe get a nice little souvenir. We are looking for a couple specific items, but I will say I just love some of the creations European hockey markets come up with. Another thing too, as you're walking around, you'll actually see a lot of the merchandise from all of the teams participating in the tournament. The really cool thing about the jerseys here too is right on like the center crest, if you will, they've always got the country that they're representing while playing here. Okay, so the jerseys are all like 100 Swiss francs right now, which I'm not going to buy just yet, but I will try and get this coffee mug. I don't know if it's for sale, but I think it's 5 francs. I've got this running thing with a buddy of mine. He likes me bringing back mugs from wherever I travel. So turns out you actually had to buy the mugs in a set of 2. So 2 mugs for 30 francs, 15 francs a mug. Not a terrible deal. And I did get myself a little Spengler Cup puck souvenir. So 38 francs at the gift shop. Again, I'll probably do the math and think that it's a little bit worse than I am right now, but other than that, I'd say that's a fair deal. Let's head into the stadium. Alrighty, wow. We're down at ice level and it is a completely different vibe here now. So Dina, about halfway through the second period, ties it up for HC Davos. I mean, again, you come here, you get to see some pretty big names, guys who had that NHL experience. On the delayed penalty, he ties it up. What a beautiful goal. And as you can see, the party is still going strong behind me. I've got my little fruit peach punch heated for only 5 francs. And that wraps up the first day at the Spengler Cup. Wow, that was actually fantastic. See, I would much rather this than like a hot chocolate. But listen, is Switzerland expensive? Yes. Could you do things a little bit cheaper? Yes. You don't need to rent a car like I did. And honestly, the life experience, this is something for my bucket list. Growing up in Newfoundland, you know, whenever the World Juniors was in North America, you always flick on in the morning the Spengler Cup and then watch the World Juniors later in the afternoon. So the fact that I've now been able to go to the World Juniors and the Spengler is something that I do not take for granted. I wish I could keep watching more of the Canada and Davos game. However, I do need to get to bed because we've got a bright and early rise with Straubing tomorrow. That is going to be an absolutely incredible video. I just had Christmas dinner with them. They are such a special organization. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. And in the meantime, stay best kind.